Alrighty, okay. We're loading up another one of these one-shot reviews. The movie I just went and saw today was Meg 2, The Trench. Oh, God. Where do we even get started with Meg 2? Alright, so first of all, the experience today was pretty good as far as the logistics of getting to the theater, getting in the movie theater, getting my snacks and stuff. I'm currently an A-list member because now I've decided I'm going to go see all these movies. So it's pretty convenient. You use the app, you go in there, you reserve your movie, you walk in there with your ticket. I use it with my virtual wallet on my iPhone. Scan in, no problems. Super convenient. Okay. Now today I went ahead and got the regular popcorn and an icy because that green apple icy from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, it's actually pretty good. I'm not somebody that normally likes fruit flavored ices. More of like a cola, or even Target one time had this Dr. Pepper flavored one. It was just out of this world. That being said, the prices on the snacks these days, I know everybody's always complaining about snack prices at the movie theater, but man, like a regular popcorn is $9. So I guess, any coupons or whatever you can get to make that less of a pain, it is what it is. Personally, I don't really sneak snacks in because I don't normally wear clothes that allow me to hide it. But not that anybody would probably care. But that's just the situation. So getting into the movie. All right. Trailers. I would say that the trailers were, again, really nothing special except for there was a movie that was showing when I walked in, a trailer for a movie that involves Nicolas Cage as an old man retired as like an assassin, but it's also got some humor bent to it or something. Regardless, it's called The Retirement Plan. I'm looking forward to that movie. It looks pretty funny. Nicolas Cage is some retired assassin helping out his daughter. Looks good. The rest of them, I'm not really interested. I'm kind of surprised. Like, how are they able to keep milking this Conjuring franchise again and again and again with this Nun movie? But I guess people are going to see it, so it is what it is. That being said, getting into Meg 2 specifically. Now, going into this movie, first of all, I just want to highlight, I have never seen Meg 1. So any amount of whatever character investment I was supposed to have in these characters, I don't have. So maybe that actually helped me with this movie a little bit because I didn't expect to care about the plot that much. I was clearly just going to see the movie because it seemed like a silly goof, Jason Statham versus giant shark sort of thing. And I thought that would be fun. If I got movies to watch with this subscription thing, I'm going to go in and see this movie in theaters. That being said, the movie itself, I think I have to agree with some of the critics on this that a lot of the plot elements were pretty shoehorned in, especially this initial villain element with them being, some sort of resource exploitation thing going on in this trench. That's like the classic thing to do if you're an evil human, but at the same time there just wasn't much information. Like, maybe they cut time out of this movie to whittle it down to an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it ended up being. But the guy picks up the rock when they arrive at this base to see what they've been mining, and the only information we get about this is he's just like, rare earth minerals, this would be worth $1 billion. And everybody's like, $1 billion with a B? And then that's it. That's all we hear about it. And there's, some sort of secret people on the inside messing with them and causing all this trouble. But to be honest with you, I could see why people would be more mad that those elements were rushed or just kind of pushed onto the story. But having no significant interest in the characters to begin with, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there had to be a bad guy, and here's my silly bad guy for my silly movie. That being said, there was kind of, I don't even know how to explain this. It's like there was almost no reason other than to set up the events for the final maybe 45 minutes of the movie for these people to even exist in the story. and that is just silly. But again, maybe it's a silly movie, so it's only supposed to be something you go to just have a fun time at and leave. But just those characters are dealt with, for lack of a better term or spoiler, pretty quickly and without any more airtime to really understand why they want to take over the world, which is not really what they want to do. They just want to make money. But and there's even a guy in this film that is like mortal enemies with Jason Statham's character, but at the same time, like, Jason literally doesn't know this guy exists until he's like, you put me in jail, now I have my revenge, which goes as you think it would in this movie. But I will say that I did enjoy going to see the movie quite a bit, because recently, with I want to say maybe a year ago or so, I platinumed this shark game called Maneater, where you literally play like a third-person RPG as a shark that grows up to be a megalodon, and the whole time you're like eating humans and evading the shark hunters and stuff like that. That game is a lot of fun and is really silly, and this whole ending scene on Fun Island at the end of the movie, the entire set of things that take place there, it's pretty silly, and the way they set it up is almost identical, or sort of an analog to the way they do it in the game. So I think that was kind of fun. They're like showing all these sort of smaller scenes of these people having fun and partying and all that, and then all of a sudden they get swallowed up by a giant squid, or they get eaten by one of the megalodons and stuff like that. That brings up another plot point that doesn't make any sense, is like this giant squid or octopus follows them out, with all the big monsters, and is one of the people that they're fighting in this movie, but they literally don't talk about it. Like, it just is shown doing its thing. It is attacking everybody, and then, it's dealt with, and nobody even, like, everybody in the movie is only really concerned about megalodons. And nobody even acknowledges the existence of this giant squid, even though I'm pretty sure the first crewmate got game ended by it. So that's pretty interesting as well. But all in all, I would say that anyone who's telling you that this movie is outright like one of the worst movies ever, it doesn't make any sense at all, they're kind of exaggerating. I think this movie is your perfect like B movie action thing where, the bad guys are just the bad guys, the good guys are just the good guys, and everybody's just slinging quips back and forth to make it sort of a lighthearted summer movie. And I think it delivers pretty well on that aspect. Like, I had a fun time. So, to sort of sum all this up, plug it into the rating system and end the video, I would say that on the rating of should you not watch the movie, watch it at home, or go watch it in theaters, I think that this is something where if you really want to go watch kind of like a less than stellar, or what am I trying to say? If you really want to go watch a movie that's just kind of a silly goof or gaff, but it's a fun ride, I would say you should see it in theaters. But with how expensive ticket prices are nowadays, and half the showings for this thing are in 3D, I think that it has to be something that for the general populace, you should probably just wait to see this at home. And the way things are now, it'll probably show up home pretty quick. So definitely, I would say see it at home. If you have the money and you want to just have a silly time and go see something fun in the theaters because you're bored, I think this movie is not like a waste of your money. I had a good time. But if I plug it into my sort of out of 5 stars rating system, I think because this movie is a good time, and I don't intend to give any half ratings on this sort of system, I would say that this movie is a 3 out of 5. But in order to sort of protect myself from other movies that may be of higher caliber that I will later rate as a 3, this is definitely a low 3. But it was a lot of fun. I would not, you know, if somebody is watching it in front of you at home, like years from now or something like that, I wouldn't avoid watching it. I wouldn't be like, ew, that movie, I'm not going to see that. I genuinely liked it. I think it was a good time spent. And yeah, so I would say see it at home. But if you want to see it in theaters just because you're bored, see it in theaters. It's a good time. And then 3 out of 5. So that's the score. See you in the next one.